Hi everyone, this is Yuri Koro Zhang, and today we are at building at Cherry Creek, and today is the jersey reveal day for the Colorado Summit, which is AUDL team first Ultimate Frisbee team pro in Colorado.
Yeah, man, is this the one? Yeah, I mean, my buddy, one of the guys on the team lives in this all the time. So got a cool video I want to post with him. Nice. Lifting in that. So, what's up,
All right, everybody. All right, I'm going to get this going here. I appreciate everyone's flexibility and ability to adapt and move on the fly. You know, that's what the Colorado Summit's going to be doing this year. I'm Sal Pace, and I'm one of the owners of the Colorado Summit. We're really excited to do our jersey reveal today and media day and talk a little bit about the season and some of our sponsorships. Just a couple things I want to share. First, people who are speaking, we've got a mic here. This is mic'd up. And so try to stand near the podium when you're talking so the mic can pick you up. You know, as the theme is, we're just going to be a little adaptive here. So Colorado Summit is a new professional ultimate frisbee team, ultimate disc team playing in Denver, playing in the American Ultimate Disc League. It is a 25-team league that goes from Montreal all the way to San Diego. And we are one of 3 expansion teams. We will be playing this season at Denver University's Peter Barton Stadium, which is at the base of the clock tower. So when you're driving by DU, you see the clock tower. We're right on the west side of that clock tower. And we actually start our season this Saturday in Seattle, playing the Seattle Cascade, and then we have a doubleheader. We go to Portland and play the Portland Nitro, another expansion team in the AUDL. And then we start our home season on Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 28th. And our first home game is 7 p.m. and we'll have a tailgate starting at 5:30. And people who are interested in tickets can go to thecoloradosummit.com to find tickets, and they're very affordable. We're super excited to be providing this entertainment to the citizens of Colorado. The AUDL is in its 11th season, last year playing its title game at the MLS Stadium in Washington, D.C. And actually, all of our games are televised and on AUDL.TV live stream, but 2 of our games are going to be nationally televised this year, and we're really excited about that. On June 25th versus San Diego here in Denver, that'll be on Fox Sports 2, and then on July 30th against Portland in Denver, that'll also be on Fox Sports 2, and it's exciting. We're one of the only teams in the league with 2 nationally televised games, and the only team with 2 home games that are nationally televised, so that's exciting. So, you know, as promised, we're going to do our jersey reveal, and we've got 3 of our players here, the star players. If you guys want to come up here, and we have Maddie Jackson, Quinn Feiner, and Dave Wiseman, and we're super excited about our jerseys this year. And we're incredibly thankful for our sponsors who are highlighted on our jerseys on the front. We're really excited to have a Starbuds dispensary. This is a first in pro sports, having a cannabis logo. And then if you guys want to show the back too, we have Phil Long dealerships. And they've got the back logo. And then on the shoulder we have Sunrun, and they do solar. They're a solar company. So I want to take a couple minutes, and I'll give you guys a break here, and do a couple minutes and have some of our sponsors make a few remarks, and then we'll get up and share some information from the team and the owners. So first, it's my privilege to have Randy Gratishar from Phil Long Dealerships, and anyone who's been in Colorado for at least 30 years knows Randy Gratishar, the all-time tackle leader for the Denver Broncos. I believe second still all-time tackles per game in the NFL, and in the Broncos Ring of Fame, and he's representative of Phil Long Dealerships, and a really awesome guy too, who just cares about doing good. And I wanted to demonstrate to Randy with it. This is a football, and this is a frisbee. Okay.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon. I was just proud to represent Colorado when I was playing for the Denver Broncos, and it was back in the mid-'70s to mid-'80s, and had that opportunity. Played 10 years and part of the Orange Crush defense, so that was certainly an exciting time for all Colorado, and particularly the Denver Broncos. And for the past 26 years, I've been incredibly proud being the Phil Long Dealerships ambassador for them. But today, everything is really topping that, and being proud of Jay Chimino, who's our owner and CEO, president of Phil Long, and the Phil Long team to sponsor and be the official auto dealership for Colorado Summit. And the Phil Long dealerships were founded. Mr. Long started, he was a World War II fighter pilot, and he came back after World War II and started his first store down in Colorado Springs, and we've been in business for the last going now on 77 years, so that's pretty exciting. And what it's based on and what has been happening, there's an incredible commitment that's been going on to make our community the best it can be, and we're very, very proud of that. And we do that through philanthropic efforts and community growth and excellence through many outreach programs over the last 77 years, and that's been going on for a long time, and that will continue. And that also is involved with vehicle operations of selling vehicles. So we're very proud of that. And my old coach, and I look around, and I guess I'm the oldest guy here, and I go back to Ohio State University, where I went to college. And there was a coach there, old Coach Woody Hayes, and he had a motto, he had a philosophy. He said, pay forward. And so for 28 years at Ohio State, he showed young athletes how to pay forward. And I've just been very, very proud of that. He did that for 28 years, and every freshman was touched by him. And that's thousands of young athletes, and he would meet one-on-one with each freshman when they were coming in, and he would be talking, and then he said, Randy, you got to start paying forward. I said, okay, how do you do that? How do we do that? And he says, I'm going to show you. And so for 28 years, in the spring quarter, we would get on at the facility and go get on the bus, and he would be with us. And we would go to various nonprofit organizations, youth organizations, hospitals, nursing homes, etc., which I know everyone knows about that. And and that's the reason why that paying forward. And Mr. Long didn't use that terminology back then. He wanted to say, be the best you could be and help others, and they'll help you. And so directly and indirectly, whatever words we use. We're just glad to be able to be part of that, and that's what Jay Chimino certainly has been doing, continuing to doing, and will continue to do that for many, many years. And just want to congratulate the owners and the fellow sponsors of Colorado Summit. And really, this is kind of a proud day. I think it's a historical day for Colorado, and I'm just glad to be part of it. And through Phil Long Dealerships, we're always glad to be part of the community. And the thanks go back to you for allowing us to be able to be part of that. Okay, thank you. Can I take this?
Sure. Randy, if you have problems on defense, are you available?
Well, I probably can't run as fast as these guys.
Thank you, Randy. Next, we're going to have Sun Run, and that is Jim Nolte. Not Sun Run, I'm sorry. Ultimate Lending Team, and that's Jim Nolte. And Ultimate Lending Team is one of the season sponsors, and they'll actually be on our warm-ups. Jim, do you want to say something?
Only very briefly.
Okay, well, come and say briefly.
You caught me off guard. So, you know, I didn't know sponsors were speaking, so.
It's optional.
It's optional?
Yeah.
Well, we're just a small Colorado business here that has been helping the Frisbee community and their friends and family with home ownership. So we're really excited to sponsor the Colorado Summit this year.
Thank you, Jim. And now I have Julie Suntrup with Starbuds and Schwaz or Starbuds.
You got it.
And we are really excited about this sponsorship. It's a historic sponsorship, and we're really grateful for Starbuds stepping up and helping us make this season possible. So, Julie.
Thank you, Sal. Starbuds and Schwaz is pleased to be a part of this historic occasion, joining Phil Long of Colorado, the Ultimate Landing Team, and Sun Run. This is historical, and we are super excited to be part of this. Schwaz is the owner of Starbuds. Starbuds is a Colorado-based dispensary. We have 19 locations in and around the state, a lot in Denver, and one really near and adjacent to DU. And we're super excited that we're part of this community, but also just a part of this inaugural moment in time. So, such a momentous occasion for not only the state of Colorado, but the summit, and Starbuds being the first cannabis company to actually be a title sponsor on a jersey of a professional team is huge. And it really just goes to show you that there is becoming more and more mainstream and widespread adoption of cannabis in the community, and we're super excited. So we're happy to, Schwaz is super happy to be here and to present Starbuds as one of our house brands and one of our dispensary companies in the state of Colorado to be a title sponsor. So we appreciate your acceptance of us in the community, and we're super excited for the season. So cheers and best wishes.
And then should Dar, Nolte, do you guys want to come up and talk about the season from owner's perspective, or?
Yeah, I can say a couple things.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, why not?
Jim, if you want to come back up. Jim's also, he's not only the president of Ultimate Lending Team, he's also a member of the ownership group.
Yeah.
We're three of the 5 owners of the Colorado Summit.
Yeah, there are 2 other owners, Emily Hansen, couldn't be here today, and Matt Cry. Matt Cry and I bought the franchise back in 2012. I like to think that nobody wanted Colorado in the league yet because they were afraid of the bite they were going to get from the dog that we can put on the field. And I see the 3 guys back there in the back, Maddie and Quinn and Dave, and I'm well past my playing days of chasing those guys around, but we've got just those 3 studs among many of this franchise. And we knew that with the Colorado Ultimate community that we could build really great franchise out of that culture in the community that's there. There was a lot of trust currency spent between ourselves as the owner group and the athletes, and we continue to spend that currency with one another. And so it's pretty exciting the opportunities that we're able to get these athletes and ourselves involved off the field and in our community, and communities that we weren't really touching before as athletes, and then turning that back onto the field and putting that kind of product out there that's going to make fans of all ages excited to really watch. And I'm sad to miss this first weekend, but I'm going to be glued to the TV with my kids and family watching those first two away games. So, anything you want to add to that?
No.
Perfect.
Does anyone want to ask us questions?
How we landed on Summit?
Well,
That took a lot of time, a lot of war room talk on that one.
Are the jerseys going to be for sale for fans?
Yes.
Yes.
Jersey, and actually we're also sponsored by VII Apparel, forgot to mention that, and their logo is somewhere on the jersey, and yeah.
That's the part the other teams will see a lot of, the backs of their jerseys.
And the VII Apparel, you can purchase the jerseys on VII Apparel, home or away jerseys.
And all of our merchandise and so forth is on the AUDL website under our team name.
Okay.
Which is Colorado Summit.
Do we get to see the away jerseys?
Yes.
Do we have a picture of the away?
And the discs will be for sale on our website as well,
At our home games.
at our home games,
Yeah.
yes.
You got an away jersey yet,
Yeah,
Ryan?
we're working on that.
Okay, just checking.
We can, when we email out the press release, we'll do both sets, both kits.
Who started this idea at the first time, the summit?
The summit,
Who started the idea?
who started the idea?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually it was a collaborative effort, and we went through a lot of. You have to check what other franchises have done across all sports, and making sure you're not hitting websites that you really don't want to send people to, and then sort of thinking about our mission and our values and where we wanted to be and what the Colorado community was, and tying to those roots, and it being about the journey. The summit is, it's the thing, right? But the journey is everything that happens around that. And so we've got a lot of ideas of what we'll do to build that culture of this franchise. It won't be at the summit, but aspiring to reach that always is where we want to be. And we know that to our athletes, to our staff, and to what the fans are going to expect is a good product out there. And so that aspiration of achieving an ultimate goal up there, and the mountain goat was, we're not sure who's going to dress up as a mountain goat yet. But I mean, we probably got ideas, and it's probably the guy talking right now. So, but yeah, so we're that's the general synopsis of the summit.
I was going to say there's a lot of sports teams that are plural nouns, and this is a singular noun, but it's also a verb. So you can sum it up the mountain, but you can sum it to the summit as well.
And we chose Colorado, not Denver, not Boulder, not Fort Collins, that Front Range community, and really builds up our franchise. And so, and there are a couple other AUDL teams that use their state as their moniker, not the city. And so that was a deliberate choice as well. And we're have athletes from up and down the Front Range.
So I think Jim might just.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what our social media tags are, so that people know what those
Yeah,
are?
and they're on the press releases. They're
Okay.
mostly the Colorado Summit on most of them. I think maybe Twitter. It's
On Twitter, we're just Colorado Summit, it's too long.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think what we're going to do, bring up the players, some of our star players, and Ryan, do you want to say something as one of the coaches?
Oh, I can, or
Yes.
get the players up
Well,
there
why don't we
first?
have the players up here? Do you want to do a quick introduction of these guys, who they are?
I think Ryan's the better GM and
Yeah,
coach
come
to
and
do that
introduce
one
who they are.
here, and you manage these guys. We're not no Jerry Jones up here getting involved.
And,
Don't
perhaps-
let Jerry know we said that, I guess.
Perhaps just for conversation starters, something you're excited about for the season. Yeah.
All right, hey, I'm Ryan Siegel. I'm the GM with the Summit, and I'm one of the 3 coaches for this season. So let's introduce the 3 players that are up here. Formerly of the Dallas Roughnecks and currently the Dallas Legion, we have Maddie Jackson. We have Team USA under 20 member and Colorado University Mama Bird star Quinn Feiner. And then the all-time Madison Radicals assist leader and former 7-year AUDL star for the Madison Radicals, Dave Wiseman. So yeah, just quickly from me, I'm really excited about the coaching staff that I'm working with this season. I'm working with 2 other really talented coaches, Tim Kafalis and Mike Lunn. And the 3 of us have been working really hard for a few months with our roster, preparing an exciting offense, a really dynamic offense, and a really tricky defense that we think is going to cause a lot of trouble for teams all across the league. So, you know, we've been working hard, we've been grinding against each other and practicing just against each other and beating up on each other at practice, and we're so excited to get out this coming weekend to the Northwest and compete against the other teams in the Western Conference. So we're really excited to show what we can do, and I'm really proud of this roster that we've put together and the product that we're about to show the rest of the country that we have. Yeah, hey.
Just needed to remind you, defense wins the games.
And you know what? I didn't bring any. What's funny is that offense is flashy, right, Randy? And we actually brought 3 pretty specific offensive players here. These guys are gonna, you know, what's exciting about Ultimate too is that, you know, once there's a turnover, even though these guys will go out on the O-line, we won't really get an opportunity a lot of the time to sub out that D-line. There's only a few timeouts that allow us in the league to sub out players. Normally the play will continue if there's a mishap on offense, and these guys gotta get the disc back for us. So they're very familiar with our defensive sets and what we're trying to do defensively, and it's going to be their job as offensive players to get the ball back and help us to score. Jim, hey.
I want to know how Dave is the assist leader for the Madison Radicals.
So that's a good question. That's a good question. If you go into the AUDL, you know, the history books, and you look at some of the highlight plays that Dave's made, something I saw a lot when I watched some of his old footage is that Dave would be a tough matchup in the middle of the field. He'd get loose, he'd get open in the middle of the field, and he has a big cannon on both sides, a big backhand, a big flick. So he'd be a tough matchup in the middle of the field. He'd get the disc from the handlers after the initiation, and he'd be able to shoot it, you know, half, 3/4 length of the field. And he was just able to use that over and over again to rack up assists for the Madison Radicals. So it's exciting to have him as one of our players on the roster, absolutely. Well, I'll step away and let Maddie jump in and talk about what he's excited about. Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Ryan, I appreciate it. I love Frisbee. I'm super excited to play with these studs. Colorado's really cool because it's a bit of a, it's like a destination location. People move here all the time for various reasons, Frisbee being one of them. So we have a unique team in that it's built up of, like, I'm originally from Arkansas, I've been playing in Dallas for the past since 2016. I won an AUDL championship with that franchise. I'm really excited to try and win another AUDL championship with this franchise, and our coaching core that Ryan was touching on is super cerebral about how they approach the game, and I'm really looking forward to implementing their ideas on both the offense and the defense. I think we could be a problem for teams. So thanks for having me.
Here, here.
I think the thing I'm most excited for is, like, kind of echoing what Maddie said, is just, you know, getting another chance to play Frisbee and bringing Colorado Frisbee to a bigger stage. We really haven't had a chance to quite have the stage that a lot of other states and a lot of other teams have had in the AUDL. So it's really exciting to bring a good product out to Colorado and out to the nation. And I think, like Maddie said, I think we're going to cause a lot of problems for other teams, and I'm really excited to get started.
Similar to Maddie, I'm not originally from Colorado. I'm actually from the Midwest, Madison, Wisconsin in particular, and so having played in that kind of region for so long, I'm super excited to come to Colorado, which has an abundance of Frisbee talent, and to be a part of this franchise's maturity in terms of their ability to bring their talent into a new league, which is quite different in a lot of ways. There are some fundamentals that are very different, but I'm just excited to be a part of that process and helping the team grow.
Anyone have questions? Yeah, questions for the players?
When you were deciding to be part of the team, what kind of pushed you over the edge to say, yes, I'm going to do this?
I think for me, the biggest thing is, like I said already, playing Frisbee, I love it. But just kind of growing the sport of Frisbee, I think the AUDL has a really unique opportunity to kind of break into a bigger voice for Frisbee. Traditionally, like Club Ultimate, not many people know about it, not many people are able to watch it, and that's something that's really exciting, is being able to, like, I tell all my friends, all my family that I play Frisbee, and they don't really know what that means because they haven't had the chance to actually see it. But now that it's in the AUDL, every game is televised and every game you can watch, and that's something that's really exciting, and just growing the sport is, I'm very excited to be a part of.
And yeah, for me specifically, yeah, I have been living in Arkansas for 10 years. There's not a lot of high-level Ultimate. In 2016, Dallas started their franchise, and I went down and I tried out and I made the team, and it opened a lot of doors for me. I ended up playing on nationally competitive teams in club and winning a championship in the AUDL. It eventually led me to moving out here and meeting a lot of friends and getting a job. And yeah, if I can play in a league that gives other people the same opportunities it gave me, that's exciting to me. And I really, I hope to continue playing in this league and helping it grow, getting eyes on the sport, and see where it goes.
I have a lot of fun playing.
There you go. Same. Yes, Jim.
For any of you, can you describe, I mean, you've played already a season, can you describe to us in Colorado what it's like as a player to go through the season all the way to championship weekend?
Yeah, what does it look like, Dave?
Like day to day and game day and that kind of stuff. Any kind of
Yeah, I mean,
insights?
like generally, so I think we've gotten to talk a little bit about it amongst the team, but like preparation for a game is very different, and so like, you know, as this season goes on, it'll be very interesting just to learn, like, you know, how does the stadium feel? How do, like, when we go to a road game and you play a doubleheader, like, how do you take care of your bodies to make sure that on the second day you can actually perform at the level that, like, a fresh team is going to be playing against? And so there's a lot of adjustments that will need to be kind of can be improved, or like we can essentially be better day in and day out with just like a little bit more thought and intention about how we approach a game, a season, and then just kind of always believing that we're going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, what a lot of people might not know is how very athletic of an endeavor Ultimate Frisbee is. So we have weekly practices, we have weekly, the players are going to be, you know, lifting weights weekly, they're going to be running track weekly, and all for, you know, 1 or 2 games every weekend that are so very physically exhausting. You need to be in that type of fitness, that type of shape. So making it all the way through the playoffs and all the way through championship weekend is a very arduous task. And well, we wouldn't do it if we didn't like it. We like running around for miles on a weekend because it's fun. So.
What team are you guys looking forward to facing the most? Who's our rival out the gate?
Good question. Who is our rival?
I think before the season, a lot of people thought it was going to be San Diego, the Growlers, that we were going to be like rivals with. They went 0-2 in the first weekend or something, 0-1.
They lost theirs.
So maybe not them, but I'm really excited to play them because I've played a lot of those guys and I'm friends with a lot of those guys from playing on club. But I think Portland in our second game this year is going to be a good one and probably going to start a long rivalry, I think.
Yeah, there's 3 expansion teams in the West Division this year. It's Portland Nitro, Salt Lake Shred, and Colorado Summit. And just for no other reason than I want to be the best expansion team. I'm going to pick the shred to be our rivals. Yeah, they went 2-0 in their inaugural season or inaugural weekend. So yeah, we're already trailing.
Yeah. I'm also excited to play the Salt Lake team, mostly because the style of team they are is just like really young and athletic, and I think they're gonna play a bit weird, and so I'm excited to play them.
So speaking of running around the field for miles, how do you guys handle sports recovery, and what's part of your regimen?
Yeah, I think that's probably different between everyone. Yeah, I've invested lots of money into recovery gear, like Theraguns and foam rollers, and me and Dave are old now, so we spend a lot of time just stretching, yoga, ice baths. My diet has changed recently in the past few years. Quinn's one of our youngest players. I don't know what he does for recovery. I don't think he has to.
I definitely do. I think it was funny. I was at my physical therapist the other day, and they were like, "You're running out of appointments for the year, and we're only a couple months in." So, but yeah, I go to a lot of PT, like Maddie was saying, Theragun, rolling, and actually we just got our Starbuds bagged recently, and right after practice, I tried some of the CBD balm, and that's going to be part of my regimen now for sure.
I've not tried the CBD balm yet, but I'm very intrigued. I'm excited to try all the different recovery approaches. Yeah, I have to these days. I have to do everything I possibly can to get my joints from.
I think we might also have a team masseuse traveling with us. I think Coach Ryan had volunteered.
Ryan, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, Coach.
Do you guys feel altitude, and are you guys getting used to it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different. I've been in the league for 6 years. You've been in the league for 7 years. This is your first year. So I think the people who have been in the league a little bit longer are already, they have the mindset to go in and win our first, second games. I do think there's going to be some acclimation for the people who haven't played in the league a little bit to understand how intense these games are going to be. But I think the team as a whole is ready for this first road weekend.
I feel really good. I've been playing Frisbee year-round for probably 5-6 years now, because the college season backs right up to the club season and vice versa. So this is the first time I've had a little bit of an off season, and first time I've probably been fully healthy to play Frisbee in 3-4 years. So I'm feeling really good and really excited. I'm really looking forward to playing on a bigger field in the AUDL than is traditionally played on club, and hopefully there's some big plays that are to be made out there.
The experience that you both bring, how does that translate to the the first year players or the 2-year players that don't necessarily understand, or they understand the game but not necessarily the AUDL and the dynamics there?
It's honestly a great question, because there are a handful of rules that are different from club and college, and also the field dimensions are a little larger, and you wouldn't think that that would have too much impact, but it really, really does. Also, one big change from club ultimate and college ultimate is that this is a timed sport versus you play to a point value. So we have been working with coaches who Ryan has also coached in the AUDL before, so this isn't new for him. And repping specific AUDL-specific situations that we've seen time and time again in over the past 6-7 years. For example, double teams are allowed in the AUDL when they are not in club and college, and so we've helped set up drills of practice where you get looks at double teams and end of quarter situations, and just understanding what those things look like after having been doing it for so many years has definitely been helpful, I think. Anything to add?
Yeah, I think to the question of how have we gotten to translate some of that knowledge to the younger guys, to emphasize what Maddie was saying is a lot of talking with the coaches. We have very cerebral coaches, and they put a ton of thought into how to like break down these differences in the game into a way where like we're doing a lot of that at practice. We'll have little side conversations with like players, like younger guys going to older guys, are trying to figure out how does this actually feel. And then there's like, you know, a lot of side conversations with the coaches of just like, hey, here are the things to think about. Because like even our coaches are like incredibly smart and have a boon of like Frisbee expertise, but they haven't coached a game like barring Ryan in the AUDL. And so like just kind of putting yourself in that mindset, doing the preparation so that we have a reasonable sense of just like, okay, the game will kind of go like this, we'll probably bump into these things, and having like contingencies, like it's like a process, and I think that's part of like the growing pains that we're gonna experience after these first couple games, which is just gonna be fun. Like, it's gonna be fun.
Is there a wager amongst any of you who's gonna have the most assists or most points? Or
I think I know the answer. One of our marquee signings, his name is Jonathan Nethercutt. He's from North Carolina. I think smart money is on Jonathan Nethercutt for most assists on the team.
And I'd like to see Quinn give Jay Frew to run for his money on most goals.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
Well, thank you all. I think good time to wrap it up, and thank you all for coming. And you know, we'll linger around here for a little bit. Should we do any pictures? Starbuds Crew, do you guys want any pictures?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I want a picture.
Let's take the sticker off your hat, buddy.
I don't know, this is kind of cool.
Okay.
Sally, you're saying move the podium just for pictures? So
Yeah, move it over, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can get more people in here?
We wanted to mention that Urel manages our DU store,
Oh,
right?
sweet.
Right.
We've seen you a lot.
Yes.
Sorry to use your pals when you come in, so. Is it on?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I got ready.
All right, look at this one first.
And thank you. And then players, can we have you do a picture with Randy as well?
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Looking forward to going to some games and following.
It'll be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see it.
Thanks for our together. Hey, Randy, back to yeah, we just got him in our last practice, so I haven't dove into the bag.
They're pretty robust.
I was happy.
Yeah.
You look good. Your hair looks great.
Thank you so much.
I'm trying to.
What was your name? I'm Maddie.
Work with you. Work with
Good
you.
to see you. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have
Excited for you guys. Thank you.
We can get one and then we'll turn around.
That sounds good.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that podium is like, me and Dar couldn't really figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's turn around and get the back of the logo.
Oh, yeah. Randy, you can
I like it, Randy.
A couple more here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thanks for all your help. Thanks, Randy.
You know, I used to play defense, but I'm just learning now. On offense. No. I think it's just got a mind of its own here. Get it out of the way.
The red one?
Yeah. All right, let me get you guys move in front of this. Yeah. Team out of here. It's not even wearing. He's ruining a shot.
Do you need anything?
Okay, can you guys say something to your fans?
Oh,
to your fans, yeah.
What are we gonna say to our fans? What are we gonna say to our fans?
Just say something.
I know. I need to think of a good thing to say.
I'll just give you both, and then depending on what you
Memorial Day weekend, the DU Lacrosse Stadium. It's going to be our inaugural home opener. Would really love for you guys to be out there and supporting us. It's going to be a fun time, great family atmosphere, and go Summit.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've heard there's cheap drinks at the lacrosse stadium, so come out, get some drinks, watch the Summit.
What's your favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Water right now.
Water.
Strictly water right now. The THC water.
All right, thank you.
What's the question?
Can you say something to your fans?
To our fans. Oh
to your
yeah,
fans,
come out, bring your friends, bring your family. Like it's gonna be a great time. It's a fun thing to watch, and yeah, there should be lots of fun side games, good food.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Okay, so when is the first home game?
First home game is Memorial Day weekend on 28th.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I just heard like first game is Memorial Day.
Yeah, first home game is Memorial Day.
Calendar.
28th.
All right. Thank you everyone.
Yes,
All right.
Go Summit.
Let's go Summit. Yeah, let's Summit. Okay everyone, today was Judge Reveal Day, and this is the end. Then let's see you guys in the DU Stadium on Memorial Day. All right, thank you so much.
Oh my God.